Just saying, it's a crazy time. You can't afford not to like black people. You don't like black people enough, you could become one yourself. I'm not the only black man with a bunch of mug shots.
Right.
It's them young ones that coming. Yes, that'll do what you want.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm independent. I pay my bills. Right. I pay the cost to be the boss. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday.
So Katt Williams just went all in on Shannon Sharpe after ESPN showed him the door. And trust me, he's not sugarcoating a thing. This isn't some light roast. Katt is dragging Shannon like he's front row at a comedy special. Katt's making it clear he's got zero sympathy for Shannon right now. Why? Because after all the slick uncle advice Shannon was throwing around for years, he went and fell for the oldest hustle in the game. If you missed it, then you better catch up. Prime Network PN cut every single tie with Shannon right after he quietly settled that jaw-dropping $50 million lawsuit with OnlyFans model Gabriela Zuniga. Yeah, $50 million. That's not pocket change, that's career-shaking money. The wild part? Katt had literally sat across from Shannon on Club Sheehy and warned him to his face.
Before we get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow.
That getting tangled up with certain women could leave him wide open for trouble. I think white women are as great as any other women, Katt even said, keeping it respectful but real. Then Monique came in with her own sharp dating advice, telling Shannon straight up to move smart in his personal life. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you. That's the energy Katt Williams is throwing right now. And it stings. Shannon Sharpe had all the red flags, all the warnings, all the free game, and still ignored it. Now look at him. No steady gig, his name splashed all over headlines, and running around trying to clean up a mess he walked right into. Instead of playing it cool and strategic, Shannon dropped a huge bag to settle with this model, and that fat payout came with an even bigger side of public embarrassment. The moment that lawsuit news hit, his brand took a hit too. And then, like the final punchline nobody saw coming, ESPN hit him with the cutoff. Let's be real here. Any major network is going to think twice about hiring a man whose most recent headline is a sexual assault lawsuit settlement, not his sports takes.
I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
Now Katt is straight up saying, I told you so. Sources close to Shannon claim Katt has zero sympathy, none. Because Unc had the money, the fame, the respect, and blew it by making reckless choices. One insider even revealed that Katt didn't warn Shannon about certain women just for laughs. Nah, Katt already knew about Shannon's thing with this young OnlyFans model long before the lawsuit made it public. He saw the whole setup coming like it was lit up in neon lights. And here's the slick part. Katt played it off like he was talking about the Jonathan Majors drama. But deep down, he was throwing shade at Shannon the entire time. Once again, Katt Williams might crack jokes, but the man has never lied when it comes to calling out the game. And Shannon Sharpe just refused to take him seriously. The wildest part, Shannon actually agreed to hand over millions to that OnlyFans model, probably thinking, if I just cut the check, I can save my job and make this disappear. But nope, ESPN still yanked the rug out from under him and sent him packing. And here's where it gets even messier. That OnlyFans model, Gabriela Zuniga, dropped her own bombshell just 24 hours after the settlement hit the news. She straight up announced on Instagram, "Today, I have decided to retire from OnlyFans. Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me for the past few years."
Didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
Come on, Katt.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
This community has given me a life I could never have imagined. I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I can't wait to share. I'm truly excited for this next chapter. Translation: Shannon basically retired this woman for life, She cashed out in one move, secured generational wealth, and dipped out of the game like a pro. Imagine one high-profile fling with a 50-year-old sports legend, a lawsuit, a quick payout, and suddenly she's living comfortably without lifting a finger. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is giving Shannon Sharpe a pass right now. It's not just that he got finessed by Gabriella. It's the hypocrisy that's got people heated. This is the same man who once bragged that he wouldn't let his own daughter's wedding budget go over $30,000.
And that's the truth of the matter, so I stayed away from that.
You see Jonathan Major, what he went through, Marvel dropped him as soon as the conviction came out, and you were telling the
Hey, you saw that black woman come get his charge cut in half? Thank you, Megan Good. God bless you, coming to save that slave.
But now, fans are dragging him left and right after leaked texts revealed something jaw-dropping. Shannon admitted that Gabriella, the OnlyFans model, was charging him a wild $25,000 per meetup. One person on X didn't hold back, saying it needed to happen to expose how much of a hypocrite Shannon is. He lost the little respect he had from people. How you gonna hand millions to an ex-worker, but only give your daughter $30,000 for her wedding? The internet was eating it up. Another user threw in an even sharper jab. Shannon Sharpe has done so many things wrong, but me learning about him being cheap on his daughter's wedding really made me side-eye him. You paid more for that young white girl who saw you as a lick. How dumb was that? And if all that wasn't humiliating enough, just days after Shannon signed off on that multi-million-dollar settlement, ESPN came through with the final blow, officially cutting him loose. The timing couldn't have been worse, and just when everyone thought Shannon's nightmare week was over, the plot thickened even more.
If he'd had to be there by himself, he was getting all four. Guilty, 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 guilty. She came in there, was just so beautiful, they had to knock half of it off. Bless his heart.
Word on the street is that ESPN didn't just cut him because of optics. Insiders claim the network was already uneasy about Shannon's public image long before the lawsuit settlement. The lawsuit was just the nail in the coffin. Apparently, executives had been quietly monitoring his off-camera moves for months. Sources say they didn't like the way his name kept popping up in gossip blogs, the questionable flirty exchanges caught on social media, and the rumors swirling about his late-night lifestyle. One producer allegedly told a reporter, "This man is supposed to be an analyst, not a headline in the shade pages every other week." And the Gabriella situation? That was the breaking point. Once the multi-million-dollar settlement became public knowledge, big advertisers reportedly started asking questions. Some even hinted they'd pull their money if Shannon stayed on the air. For ESPN, that was all they needed to make the call. Meanwhile, Gabriella is somewhere smiling, posting glamorous vacation shots while her name trends worldwide. People online are saying she walked away with the ultimate win.
Everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so, as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, "Bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, "Bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on." And
career retired, bank account full, and a scandal that will probably follow Shannon way longer than it follows her. The saddest part, Shannon's fans are split. Half think he's a victim of bad luck and bad timing. The other half, they're convinced he brought every bit of this on himself. Now the conversation has shifted from just what happened to Shannon Sharpe to what's next for him. Katt Williams isn't letting up either. He's still out here reminding everyone that he saw this storm coming from a mile away. In interviews and on stage, Katt's been slyly weaving Shannon's downfall into his jokes, making the crowd laugh while dropping truth bombs in every punchline. Some industry insiders are saying Shannon's reputation in TV might be toast for now. Sports talk networks want clean, marketable personalities, one media analyst explained. Once you get tied to a lawsuit like this, especially involving someone from the adult industry, you become a risk, not a selling point. It's cold, but it's the reality of the business. Shannon, however, hasn't gone silent. He's been hinting on social media that he's got big plans and won't be counted out. Some fans believe he might try to rebuild his brand through his own independent platform, where he can speak freely without network executives breathing down his neck. Others think he should lay low for a year, let the dust settle, and come back when the headlines cool off.
I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow They saw me, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first 2 brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and this is what the headline's going to be for the next couple of days.
But the Katt Williams factor keeps things spicy. Every time Katt brings up Shannon in a sly, comedic way, it keeps the scandal alive in the public eye. Whether Katt means to bury him or just can't resist a perfectly timed jab, the effect is the same. Shannon's name stays trending for all the wrong reasons. ESPN didn't even bother putting out an official statement. They ghosted the whole thing. People magazine reached out for comment, but the network wanted zero part in discussing Shannon Sharpe's exit. It was like they were erasing him from the picture without even saying his name. As for Shannon, he finally broke his silence on July 30th during the Nightcap podcast. He tried to keep it cool, saying he was at peace with ESPN's decision, but then admitted something heavy. Shannon revealed that he actually begged Prime Network to hold off on announcing his firing until after his older brother, Sterling Sharpe, was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He knew the scandal and his firing would completely overshadow Sterling's once-in-a-lifetime moment, and it crushed him to admit that's exactly what happened.
Bro, again, I know you told me this. I don't have to apologize, but I'm going to do it one final time tonight, and I won't apologize again. I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model from as long as I can remember. And I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN and every place that I've been, be it Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, Undisputed, ESPN. Thank you guys for you.
Shannon even said he had to apologize to his brother in private. But according to him, ESPN and Disney didn't care one bit. They ignored his request, made their move, and let the news drop like a bomb, right in the middle of his family's celebration. And here's the jaw dropper. Before that lawsuit even came out, Shannon was on the verge of signing a massive $100 million deal. We're talking a game-changing podcast contract that would have wrapped up all of his Shishi media shows. Club Shay Shay, Nightcap with Chad Johnson, Club 520 Podcast, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies. That bag would have cemented him as one of the most powerful independent voices in sports and entertainment. Behind the scenes, whispers started flying about exactly who pulled the plug on Shannon's $100 million dream deal. And it wasn't just some random corporate decision. Multiple insiders are claiming the final no came straight from the top of Disney's corporate ladder. Apparently, once the lawsuit with Gabriela Zuniga became public and that massive settlement number hit the press, the executives upstairs saw Shannon as too hot to touch. One source close to the negotiations said the advertisers were already nervous, but when the Disney higher-ups got word that the story was dominating gossip blogs, trending daily on social media, and even making late-night talk show jokes, they decided the risk was way too high. They didn't want to invest 9 figures into someone who could blow up the brand's clean image, the insider explained. And here's the kicker. The deal wasn't just money. It included a massive promotional push, multiple live events, brand partnerships, and even a possible streaming show under his Shishi Media umbrella. Shannon would have been running the table in sports entertainment, but it all evaporated with one scandal. Meanwhile, Katt Williams has been sliding sly comments into his sets, making it crystal clear he thinks Shannon fumbled the bag in the worst way possible. Fans online keep posting side-by-sides of Shannon in his ESPN glory days versus him now, podcasting under a cloud of drama. Fact, on April 18th, just 3 days before Gabriela dropped that lawsuit, Front Office Sports reported Shannon Sharpe was on the verge of signing a monster deal worth over $100 million. 3 days later, that dream vanished into thin air. Not only is that deal dead, but Shannon's ESPN seat is gone, and so are his chances of working anywhere under the Disney banner. We're talking ESPN, ABC, Hulu, and basically every major network with big money on the table. And here's the cold reality. Once you get a stain this public and this messy, it's almost impossible to bounce back in those elite media circles. Every big project that could have made Shannon a podcast kingpin, gone. That ship sailed the second he got caught up with a 19-year-old white girl, and the whole thing exploded in headlines. Which brings us right back to Katt Williams. Katt's been saying from day one, no one's feeling sorry for Shannon because he had the power, the platform, and the bag. But he tossed it all away, making reckless moves. The streets are saying he played himself, plain and simple. But what do you think? Was Shannon's downfall all on him? Did ESPN act too fast by cutting him off, or was it the only move they could make? And how do you feel about him paying millions to settle with an OnlyFans model while keeping his own daughter's wedding on a strict budget? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with someone who needs the tea. Stay tuned, because you never know what's about to pop off next in our hood, and you know we're bringing it straight to you.